By the way, you can talk to me, if there's something that you want to say. But you can interrupt me. It makes it more natural. I am back. Bigger, well, not bigger, I haven't put on weight, but better than ever. I had a great break for Diwali. I hope you guys had a great Diwali too. Took some time off and back after a month with better content. Not more content, but better content for you guys to stay informed about tech in India. While I was on break, I noticed that I did not lose a single subscriber. I did not lose a single follower on any of my platforms, and for that, I am especially grateful. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. Make sure you stay subscribed and do introduce my videos to other people who you think will be interested, because the only way to support me is to increase my subscriber count. I am at 100 and something subscribers now. I need to get to 500 as soon as possible. That's the only way I get supported to continue making this content, because I do not take any kind of paid partnerships. I don't do that because I feel like it impairs my independence as an honest tech blogger, because I promise and I continue to promise to be very honest in my opinions about the tech industry and about tech in India. We have a lot of great tech content creators over here in India, but the gap that I'm trying to fill is to speak the truth about the tech industry in particular. It's not a new industry anymore, and it's showing some cracks that I'm eager to bring out. Yep. So hit that like button, leave a comment down below about what you want to see, and make sure to help me get to 500 subscribers as soon as possible. Right. So let's get into this post Diwali episode of This Week in Tech India. Nothing beats chai, man, no matter what. No, chai is good. My wife's a coffee drinker. Anyway, to start with, Figma, the company that owns the design software by the same name, announced that it's opening this massive office in Bangalore and it's going to hire a lot of people. Design bros will tell you that Figma is the biggest deal in the design world. They're going to have an office in India. That's a pretty big deal. Figma is the market leader in design software, not Adobe, Figma. Remember that. It'll be cool if they can give a lot of jobs to designers, and we have the best of them in India, don't get me wrong. But my experience with designers has been the best of them choose to remain as freelancers, but there are a lot of designers who are looking for jobs, and some really good ones out there. It's who are willing to work. It's just the industry that has not been kind to them. I'm not saying that Figma is going to fix this problem, but maybe it will help fix this problem. And as a software designer, it'll be cool to have Figma on your resume. It really boosts your career, I think. Bit of other news, IPO season is not yet over. More specifically, tech IPO season. More specifically, new age tech IPO season is not over yet. Now, Inc42, which is one of my favorite websites out there, put out this new age tech IPO tracker. I'll link it in the description. Go take a look. It's brilliant. I love it. Speaking of IPOs, Lenskart's IPO is oversubscribed 28 times. What does that mean exactly? I'm not entirely sure, but it's safe to say it means that Lenskart IPO has generated a lot of interest and they have raised more than the money that they needed to raise. Even Grok, the other IPO that happened recently, met its subscription target. Physics Wala did well in its IPO. I think before the end of 2025, we're going to see at least a couple of big tech IPOs. Capillary Technology is headed for an IPO. So is Pine Labs. By the way, let me emphasize that an IPO, or whether a company is listed or not, is no indication of whether this is a great company or whether this company is profitable. Or some of the biggest tech companies in India are still not listed. Whether they will be listed in the future, I don't know. The IPO is a means of raising capital, and being a listed company is basically a means of ownership, where shareholders can become part owners of the company. It is kind of sort of an indication of the size of a company, though I will tell that it's not easy for small cap companies with smaller market capitalization to get listed. And being a listed company, the difference it makes is that the listed companies need to be more transparent in their financials because they owe it to their shareholders to be transparent in their financials. And there are regulators that look at that. Anyway, bit of finance related thought there. Speaking of a big tech company that has not been listed yet, see what it there. Geo Telecom is offering 18 months of Gemini Pro to some of its users. And it's not just Gemini, the chat agent Pro that's being offered. The bundle also includes Nano Banana, VO 3.1, Notebook LM, Google One, Google Workspace, and Google Gemini, the chat assistant, being made free for 18 months for Geo users. If you remember a few months back, Airtel offered Perplexity Pro for its users, what normally costs 17,000 rupees a year. It's free for Airtel users. You might be thinking that there's a catch in this, and there is. There is reporting that Airtel, Jio, and Vodafone India are going to increase their rates starting 1st December 2025. So, would you rather they keep the same rates and you not use Gemini Pro or avail any of these other free benefits? It's kind of becoming this thing where Jio users or Airtel users are obliged to take these benefits to almost to justify the increase in rates. I'm sure the vast majority of us would prefer that these telecom companies do not increase their rates. I can choose whether I want to take, I don't know, an Amazon Prime subscription or whatever it is. I mean, I'm happy to pay for it separately. I'm not happy for if my base mobile data package of 220 rupees is going to become 300 rupees without me signing up for it. I think most people would be upset with that. But anyway, that is what is happening. Now, speaking of chatbots, this is not news per se, but well, actually it is. It is news that you need to know. In the US, and I'll tell you how this is related to chatbots in a second. In the US, a couple of weeks back, a 12-year-old was using Grok, XAI's AI assistant. And in the conversation, Grok asked the 12-year-old boy to share nudes. That was reported by USA Today by the boy's mother. Now, I tweeted about that. Yes, I still say tweet. I don't say I posted on X. I tweeted about it on Twitter. I happened to tag Grok. I didn't ask Grok to respond to it, but Grok, the AI chatbot, did respond to my tweet, basically saying that Grok doesn't see it as something it did wrong, and that it is programmed to push the boundaries of boldness or something like that, okay? Basically, what Grok is saying is that Grok is programmed to be Turkey, unapologetically. And it is in XAI's mission statement also. The reason I'm bringing this out is because you need to know, and especially if you have a household with young ones in it who have very easy access to Grok or even ChatGPT or even Gemini or even Perplexity, what this could lead to. The possibilities are endless. Yes, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. There is reporting, I don't want to bring it out in this episode, but there is reporting about ChatGPT doing something bad, and a bunch of families have filed a lawsuit against ChatGPT. Leave a comment below if you want me to talk about it, but be warned, it's a very sensitive topic that involves self-harm. Bit of PSA over there. All right, moving on to other things. Telangana's Chief Minister Revant Reddy has announced that streets in Hyderabad will be named after big tech companies. So you're probably going to have Google Street, Facebook Street, Infosys Street, Infosys Avenue. Maybe that'll sound cool. I don't know how I feel about that. Streets are usually named after historical figures or tributes to people who were indigenous to that area. I don't know how I feel about Google Street in the city where I live. I don't live in Hyderabad. Hypothetically, I'm saying if I lived in Hyderabad, I don't know how I would have felt about it. Anyway, that's probably going to happen. Speaking of Andhra Pradesh, not Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Reliance Industries announced that it's going to set up a 1 gigawatt AI data center in Andhra Pradesh. Massive infrastructure is going to be built. This is not entirely this news might sound familiar, but Reliance announced a few months back that it's going to build the world's largest AI data center in Gujarat. And now they announced that they're going to build it in Andhra Pradesh. I mean, there's reporting from Business Standard that Reliance is spending billions on AI infrastructure, which is to be expected really because they are encouraged to do so by the government and its users and the overall company's vision of being AI first. Let's not forget that Geo formed an AI subsidiary recently, and Reliance as a whole is getting more and more into tech. I wonder what happened to Geo frames though. Let me look that up later. India has become the world's sixth largest filer of patents with more than 64,000 patents filed. I like this bit of news. It may not seem very impactful, but what it says is that we are taking our knowledge, our IP more seriously by filing patents. And patents that are filed, by the way, have implications for the future. It does help. By the way, these big tech companies like TCS and Cognizant, etc., do you know how many patents they own? Okay. Anyway, let me not talk about TCS and Cognizant. Let's talk about happier things on this episode. Swiggy Ltd said that its board approved a plan to raise up to 10,000 crores through something called a qualified institutional placement. A qualified institutional placement, QIP. What does Swiggy need all that money for? I don't know. I hope to God they do not launch another app. Swiggy already has too many apps. Junio Payments Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of FirstPay Technologies, has received in-principle authorization from the RBI to issue prepaid payment instruments. What is a prepaid payment instrument? It's basically a digital wallet where you front load a certain amount of money and then use that balance to buy things, like a digital debit card. LG Electronics is planning to shift manufacturing of capital goods to India from places like China, Korea, and Vietnam. This is, of course, following a blockbuster IPO and willingness to put in more money in India. Social gaming platform Zupee, which was crying when the real money game ban was introduced, has acquired a Sydney, Australia-based AI startup called New Cannon. New Cannon? I don't know. So they do have money. I hope they didn't lay off a bunch of people saying that they had to do so after this real money game ban. And finally, FES Cafe, which claims to be India's first 100% desert-led cafe chain, 100% eggless desert-led cafe chain, has raised $1 million in a pre-Series A funding round. This is not exactly tech news, but I just think it's cute. This cafe has raised money the way tech companies would raise money in order to expand in Delhi NCR. That's it for now. Like I said, it's great to be back. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. You know what? Share this with your mom. I'm sure your mom will like me. I'm usually good with aunties. Right. See you next week.